Okay, we're good. We're here. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Conjure Crew. Today, we're going to do things a little differently. We don't have a guest speaker, but we want to make this live an open forum. So we want questions, and we want to talk about a plethora of subjects because, well, today is going to be fun. So we're going to talk about it all. Get it on the table. So many people have been asking questions. I'm sure Lynna and Tonya, they've been seeing questions on Facebook, and everybody's kind of like, with no answers. So today is an open forum, and ask your questions, and let's have some fun. Hi, Tonya. Hi, Lynna.
Hey, babies, my loves.
I do want to mention that this is not a time for readings, so we're not doing readings. These are for other questions. So if you have like magical questions or things like that.
Exactly.
What's going on, Munchy Cheese, Tony, Zion, Desiree, Monica, Shay? What's up?
Hey, guys. So, I was telling Lynna, because she was saying, what are some of the things that, we were thinking about talking about. And tonight, and I think yesterday as well, it's the full moon in Virgo, but the sun is in Pisces. So right now, I know a lot of people probably don't pay attention to it unless they work with moon energy and, all that. But it's a very conflicting energy right now for letting things go. But it's the perfect time to do divination because it forces you to use your intuition. And so this is the time because both Virgo, both Pisces have the magician kind of in their energy as well as the alchemist. So this is the time to remove things, but also to prepare yourself for the unforeseen that's coming your way and understanding that you can change the outcome and make things be what you need them to be as well. So just for those who didn't know, that's the energy we're working with. If you feel like you've been having strange dreams, definitely a lot of divinatory dreams, this is why that's happening right now.
So would this be a good time for manifestation?
So normally it wouldn't. But it would be, you don't want to create a spell to manifest something to you. Rather, you want to create the spell that will assist you in changing the outcomes of things that don't seem favorable to you, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is the perfect time to work with. Am I back?
Yes.
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. I was like, I was gone for like a second. So to work with that energy, but then also, once again, to kind of combine the practitioner, the magician, and the alchemist energy. A lot of people like to keep those separate, but they're indeed like all linked. So now's the time to really work with that energy too.
I agree. I think it's a really good time to navigate things that you've been stuck on. There's so much coming to the light. I did a couple of readings yesterday with people where, people were like, I knew it, I felt it, but now I can't not see it. So now Spirit is kind of putting you in a position where you have to work on some things. You can't turn your head and pretend like problems aren't there. With Virgo is a very organized sign, which means that they like things orderly. They like things in a place. Because I'm a Virgo, what am I? A Virgo Venus. And Virgo Venus makes it hard for me to find love because Venus is your emotions, how you relate to people. The Virgo Venus in me sees perfection and imperfection. So when I meet people, I can see, oh, the aesthetic is beautiful, but doesn't fit in my box because things have to be organized. So some of you are going to feel the need to kind of start clearing out, like she said, clearing out things, whether this is, bad relationships. That pile of laundry that you have in your corner is going to be a little bit more irritating during this time, things being out of order. And it does conflict with Pisces because Pisces can be very dreamy and very watery and very intuitive, where it's almost like I feel, and Virgo is I think. Two very opposing energies.
That
but
hits
then Pisces, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say that hits right at home, especially for me, because with the water and the organization, girl, there is so much water in this house. I've had no choice but to organize all my shit.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I cleaned out my whole garage when the pipe burst because, like you said, things that were hidden are coming to the surface.
oh,
And it's because they have to be fixed. We had problems we didn't see. And what happened? Go ahead, babe.
But then you have to also keep in mind that Pisces can sometimes be very much too emotional and play the victim mentality.
Oh,
So that's
absolutely.
where a lot of the conflict is going to come, because a Virgo, the Virgo energy is, like you said, very organized and says, okay, I need to get this done. It's in a box. But the Pisces is like, oh, I wouldn't have to worry about cleaning this, or I wouldn't have this if then that. And so it's like literally these two contradictive energies that have people running around in circles. They don't really know which way to go. So some people who would normally not be emotional are bawling their eyes out. And then some people who are usually emotional just seem to lack empathy. So it's like complete opposite.
I think it may be a good thing. It's helping people get in touch with parts of them that maybe need to be addressed or dealt with. If you're holding emotions in, or you've been holding things in, you may find yourself, in the fetal position, letting things out because it needs to be released. Oh, Rob is saying, I'm fucked. Virgo sun and Pisces ascending. Yeah, that's your reality 24/7.
just roll with it. Just roll with it. Water off a duck's back.
And I think that Pisces ascending makes him very emotional. That Virgo probably makes him want to be loyal to people in a way that he can't let go of relationships that are very she just come back in. He sometimes with a Virgo sun, you tend to have a what do you call it? Somebody used the word when you're loyal to a fault. Displaced loyalty. Displaced loyalty. You tend to be loyal to things that you don't need to be loyal to. So everybody's your friend until they're not your friend. And then his Pisces moon is going to make him feel very hurt when the truth comes out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But with him having that in his house is the way he does, it's almost like he goes through that all the time.
Yeah, because that is his reality.
So
100%.
Right now, who's gonna light a candle for you, Rob?
Rob needs to keep candles lit 24/7. Or either he's going to have to learn with that Pisces ascendant to toughen up his skin. Because and it's not every Pisces. It depends on what other planets that you have. I mean, your sun and your ascending are just a small fraction of who you are. But you definitely, when you know that you have issues in your planets, just like remember that birthday present you gave me where she did my solar return?
Oh yeah.
For the whole year, I could look at my planets and go, oh, I'm going to have a problem here. I need to work on that before we get there.
Right.
Because I saw it. So if you are able, and there's a lot of free places that you can get your chart and draw it up. You literally sometimes can navigate these pitfalls before you get there. Because there's going to be certain things where it's going to show you, oh, I have this issue with people, or I have this situation that is coming up that I need to be adjusted for. Let me see. I think Shishi's coming back. Okay, good. This would be a really Eve, this would be a good time for past life regression, because a lot of things, and I've had a past life regression where it's weird because I stopped swimming at 30. I took swimming lessons all my life. My mom put us in the YMCA when we were young. And at 30, I developed this crazy fear about water. And I still can't put my face underwater. And it's because in a past life, I died when I was 30. So I drowned. So it played a part in this particular lifetime that when I hit 30, all of a sudden I got this intense fear of water. So yeah, if you're looking to release and purge, past life regression would be really, really good right now. Also, too, the waning moon is a good time to do past life regression too, especially if you're trying to release trauma from a past life.
Oh yeah, to get rid of it. This is a time to definitely get rid of things.
Yeah, because we bring a lot of trauma back from past lives that affect us in the present life that we sometimes don't understand what the connection is. If you understand who you were in a past life, it tends to help you navigate some of your same phobias, some of your same karmic relationships. A lot of us keep doing the same shit life after life after life.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you do past life readings?
I do. I do past life readings. I think Shishi does too, don't you, Lynna? I thought you did.
Me, no.
No?
Really? I thought you did as well. Sorry, y'all, I'm trying to set up my phone. Everything's kicking me
No,
out.
babe, take your time. I know Nadia does past life regression.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had a couple of people I talked to, in fact, yesterday that said that they loved her past life regression and her hypnosis. Um, um, what does she call it? It's like a life coaching, the hypnosis with the
Right,
life
right.
coaching.
I remember her talking about that. Um, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, you can go back in the playlist and watch the interview with Nadia, Madam Nadia.
But I have just looking at my past life card. In fact, let me show you guys real quick. Because these are past life cards. Now, when you're a diviner, there's sometimes even with tarot oracle that past lives will pop back in. Because sometimes the trauma that is attached to that life is why you're dealing with some things in this lifetime. But I'm going to pull some cards on my past life to give you an idea of what it shows you. So, literally, normally, what I'll ask spirit is sometimes when I'm being bitchy or I'm in a mood, I tend to go back to my cards and try to figure out why. Especially if it's out of character for me, it's like, okay, what do I need to do? Eat a piece of chocolate cake? Do I need to go take a nap? Or do I need to pull my cards to figure out what the fuck is wrong with my head? Most of the time, I go to pull my cards so my spirits can help me out. So, past life, let's see. Spirit, past 3 lives for me. What do I need to connect to? Or what is connecting me in this lifetime? All right. Recent past life spirit, give me insight on who I am, who I was. Interesting. Okay, so just 3 cards. Male energy, and that makes sense because I do feel like I still have a lot of male energy. So, past life, recent past life, I was a male. And we got medicine man, medicine woman, which makes sense because in this lifetime, I am a healer. And then we have wisdom, which means that during that time I could have been an old soul, I could have been a wise person, I could have had a lot of knowledge. If you look at this past life connection versus what I do now, I literally have brought some of that same energy into this present lifetime. Now, if I keep pulling, there'll be places where it's like, okay, this is why you're fucking up certain things because you are caught in some type of karmic cycle. It's really weird because I'm not going to say weird. I've been a healer in multiple lifetimes. Multiple lifetimes. I keep coming back as some type of medicine woman, doctor, nurse, priestess. And I think
Mambo.
Mambo. I mean, literally, I have no. I did not create. These were Doreen Virtue. But who is the person who's doing it now? Because I know they took her name off the cards.
Bradley Valentine.
Yes, Bradley Valentine. So if you order them, and you can get these on Amazon, Etsy, you can find them a lot of different places. Go ahead, Shishi. Your volume. They
Okay.
were discontinued for a while, and I know they're bringing them back.
I don't think it's Bradley Valentine that does the past life though. It was Doreen
Oh,
Virtue and some other person. But it wasn't
John.
Oh,
Bradley
Is
Valentine.
it that John guy?
she used 2 different men. One was John, and one was
Let me see.
It
yeah.
wasn't I don't think this guy was John either. I have my deck. I have the same deck as you, but for the past life, but I don't think he was John. But I know for my current past life deck, I'm using soul cards.
I have soul cards too. Those are good, and they're very intuitive. There's nothing on the soul cards. There's
Nothing.
no words. It's completely intuitive, but it's a beautiful deck.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's not John Holland.
I don't think it is, but look up Doreen Virtue past life cards and see what the old box said.
Yeah. because
Is
it
it
was
James Van Prague?
no, no, it's not James. It would be. I don't have my original. I don't have my original deck box, but it was Doreen. Doreen always
Yeah.
co-produced with different people. And
Yeah.
then when they took her off, her name off, they went by with the people, whoever she illustrated with or whatever.
But I don't think they did the past life. I don't know if they redid the past life. I know they
Oh,
redid like the angel
Elisa
card.
is saying it's Brian.
So it's Grimes.
It's Brian. I don't know the
Oh,
last name. Munchy Cheese, it's because the soul cards are completely an intuitive deck. There's there's no, if you're used to reading with keywords, okay, Brian Weiss, thank
Yeah,
you.
Brian Weiss.
Thank you.
I
Why
just
couldn't we come up with that name when I've seen them on so many cards? Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Because I was about to go grab my phone too. But Munchy Cheese, yeah. The soul cards, in fact, let me see. I got
they have two soul cards. So they have soul cards 1 and soul cards 2, which
yeah.
are really awesome.
Let me see. I have both decks. So let me see if I have cataloged them. Freaking ridiculous. But I love the soul cards. Shishi, you have yours with you?
I do. I have them in the other room. I can grab them. I only have this soul cards 2 with me. My soul cards 1 were just delivered. It took like 2 months to get to me.
Grab your
But
cards so they can see.
all right, I'll be right back, guys.
Because I think mine are in my other box and I would have to go dig them out. Yeah, I don't think I have them out. The Soul Cards is a beautiful deck, and the only thing is it is a deck that is meant to be read completely intuitive, completely, which means wherever your mind and spirit takes you. That's interesting because I thought I had them in here. Now look, I'm gonna have to go back and look at my other stuff. Lynna, you don't have them, do you? Oh,
no, I
you
don't.
remember Cole Meadows' deck?
Which one?
The first one.
Let me. I can go look. Let me see. Because a lot of my stuff is in storage.
That is true. Cole Meadows' deck is almost like the soul cards. It's meant to be read intuitively. It's just symbols. There's nothing on there that would connect with tarot. I think it's supposed to be a hoodoo deck, but it reminds me of the soul tarot deck
Yeah.
or the soulful oracle.
So these are the soul cards 2. I actually, if she doesn't mind me throwing her in the bus, I tested Nika with them when I first got them.
Ah.
I have the one that's not open. Let me see it.
And there's a lot of cards because I think they're definitely, how many cards are in this box? Well, it's 60 cards. So that's usually more than Oracle deck. So that's the back. And the images, they just have images. No
They're
words.
beautiful.
Look, I can open it.
Oh, Lynna, you
So,
don't have to open it, babe, if you don't want to.
No, it's okay. I do
yeah,
have
they're
one deck
gorgeous
board that
cards.
I'm not going to open.
And you use those more, Shishi, for your past lives?
I use them for past lives. I use them for honestly finding like deeper situations that people are going through. I love reading my tarot. But for some reason, these, because they're so free, they just they pull up so many things, so many different things
They
for me.
really do. I mean, it's a beautiful deck. Let's see. Ah, okay, yeah. Oh, Tata Kempu. Hola, papi, ¿cómo estás?
I gotta show you my new major arcana that I got too. I got also playing cards in it, but when you get a chance, I gotta show you my new major arcana.
You know what? You and Lynna with your damn cards. It's like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Y'all be trying
Yeah,
to make me
but
break into my savings account.
See, he's got the.
they're more of like the goofy. Oh, are those the soul cards 1 or 2?
No, these are cold metals. This is the Hoodoo Conjure Queen deck. And it's
Oh,
like the soul cards. It's
You know
very
what? This
intuitive.
deck looks different than the original deck that we got.
I
This
think he modified. I think he went back in and modified.
these have more color.
Those have different symbols because I don't have any of those.
oh, those are beautiful.
Yeah. He has chicken feed. He has brooms. It almost reminds me of like your root worker deck that you have been posting your weeklies with.
Yeah, let me see if I can find some of those.
Shishi, let me see the card you held up before.
So
What
this
deck was
is
that one?
this is the Sin Tarot. They actually did it as playing cards, and then they did like just the major arcana. So it's called the Sin Tarot, and it's really kind of creepy. But that's the High Priestess.
Oh, she's sexy.
Then the Magician is a little bit darker.
Is it a Kickstarter?
It is a Kickstarter. It is.
I think he added more cards.
He did, Lynna. That's what I'm saying. Some of his cards, I don't have them.
The Tower is the one that disturbs me the most, though. Because I'm like, what the fuck is going on with the Tower? But
that's a fucking breakdown. That's what that is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hit me the name of those cards. I guess I'm gonna have to dish out what, $80 for them.
Which ones?
The ones that you're showing now.
I don't know if they're making them again. It was a Kickstarter, and like to get the playing cards and you get to get the Tarot Arcana was only like $32.
Okay. We'll see. Elisa said before she bought her past life card, she was doing past lives intuitively, which I think the messages start to come through anyway. Because really, when I look at the cards, sometimes you end up in a completely different story. Completely different story. You know, everybody wants to be a goddess or a god from Egypt. Every time I do a past life reading, they're like, tell me I was wealthy. Tell me I was rich. Or like, you know, our friend Eric, in Vegas, he's like, I know I was famous. I know I was a celebrity. I know that I'm supposed to be all this stuff in the same life. And I look at his past life cards and I was like, no, boo. None of that was going on for you. None of that. But I get it because that's what people want to be connected with, the higher vibrations of who they could have been in a past life.
These are new.
Yeah, he added new cards. He added new cards to his deck. And that deck was what, 99?
About that.
It was 100 and something, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I remember I won this deck.
Yeah. But you got bonus cards in that deck. It's a beautiful deck though. I can't read with it. It just doesn't connect with me. And you guys, you're gonna see that when you buy certain decks. Like I have decks that the artwork is beautiful, but I cannot read it. I can't connect with it at all. Those are Comedo's Hoodoo Conjure Queen deck. He has like 4 or 5 decks now, right?
Yeah, this was the original one.
Yeah, so you can go on to
I like
Comedo's.
that little round deck he's got too.
What is his website? Is it hoodooconjurequeen.com?
TheHoodooQueen.com.
Okay, he's on IG and he's on Facebook if you really want to look. He has like 5 decks, I think now, 4 or 5 decks.
Yeah.
Mimi. Yeah, Nika, you still a bad guy in this lifetime because your ass always in jail. So whatever energy you do need a past life reading, because I can tell you lived a couple of past lives where you was on the run. You was a criminal. Nika, they talk about I wouldn't be a bad guy. Lord have mercy. All you need is a balls and a penis in this lifetime to pull it off.
I am pretty sure Nika was definitely like the ringleader of some Western.
Oh, you know she was the ringleader, 100%. What's up, Boo Bear? Y'all got water? Y'all got water yet? My poor Chaz has been home with no fucking water all this time.
Oh my goodness.
It's crazy, right?
Is he here in town?
No, Chad is in what, Mississippi?
Yeah.
They got hit. They got hit. Well, their water source got hit because they haven't had their water on. So he been taking whole baths. Me and him for a little bit was taking matching whole baths, and then we got our water back.
Me too.
Yeah, and yeah, that's true too, because you were taking them for a lot longer, melting snow and wiping your butt and shit with it. It was
I wasn't doing
interesting.
that, but yeah.
Well, we
Y'all
were.
survivor shit, some serious survivor shit
Oh,
that
we
I
was
would
doing
not
some.
be built for.
Yeah, we was doing some
I would have
survivor
packed the fuck
stuff.
up and left to the next. Well, it takes 8 days to get out of Texas, so by the time I got out of Texas, y'all probably would have got like your power on and shit. But
Oh yeah, it
yeah,
takes forever to get out of Texas. Texas is huge. It's huge. Oh, he finally took a shower.
oh my god,
It's a pain. But we good. We're survivors, man. We're
I
survivors.
bet when they were like boil water, I would have been like, huh? I would have been
Yeah,
like Ted Cruz. I would have been just like Ted Cruz. Well, let me get on the plane and.
girl. With his sorry. Don't even get me started. With his sorry ass. Go up there, eat, drink a pina colada while people over here having to wipe their ass with snow water. Goddamn politicians.
Dude, I would have been
Oh,
right with them. I'd have been like, you get me a plane ticket, I won't say a thing. I don't even
I
let you
don't.
get out.
I don't blame him. Shit, all of us would have been on the plane with him if we could have. Shoot, he had the right idea. He just wasn't taking everybody with him because I would have gladly. My suitcase was already packed. All I do is switch underwear out. I would have gladly been on the plane, But yeah, he tried to leave us behind. Got busted.
What's the Akamara tarot cards?
Oh, I don't know.
Chaz, what's those? I don't know what those are. If we knew what they were, we probably have them.
Chad, I was gonna say I don't even have my phone to Google.
I'm
They
on my
sound
phone.
interesting.
I know they do. I'm like, I want that. Give me those.
Munchie Cheese, hell yeah, he lied on his kids. He had to get his kids out the country. He didn't have to get on the plane with his kids.
No. And he's trying to say that he knew that school was going to be let out the week before, so he went ahead and
Girl, we could have a whole segment on lies Ted Cruz tells. It would be 2 hours. The, every time I don't even you know what? Let me quit. Let me quit.
It was just even the
Or,
memes were so funny. The memes were so fucked up, but they were so funny because I'm like, I mean, it's jacked up what he did because he's like supposed to be a leader, but there's not one person though that created a meme that wouldn't have been out in Cancun if they could have been.
exactly.
If everybody
Exactly.
had the money, they'd be like, "Wow, we're not gonna stay here in the snow," especially not in Texas. I'm like, I'm all lost in the sauce.
you don't have to lie about it.
Yeah, just say I was out. I was going on
But
vacation.
when all you do is lie, when you're a chronic liar, you don't
Oh,
even know when you're lying anymore. You see
That's
how
true.
quick he threw that on his kids? He didn't even bat an eyelash. Most people do not lie on their children just because, the old wives tale. But
I had to take off work because my mom is in the hospital. Then guess what? Your mama gonna get in the hospital.
yeah, workers don't do that, but a chronic liar, they do that. So ladies on here that always have a problem figuring out what a chronic liar is, Google Ted Cruz and watch him on YouTube. And then watch all them red flags because he lie about every fucking thing. Every fucking thing. So Chad says that tarot is on IG. So I'm gonna go check it out after this.
Yeah, I want to
They're
see that too.
ATR based, he said.
What
So
was that show where they detected lies? It had that British guy on there.
where you going?
I don't know. I don't know a show where they detected lies, but shoot, I love watching reality. Actually, let me rephrase this. I
Well, no,
don't like
it wasn't a reality show. But
I like
I
watching
don't
people
know.
get
The
caught
only
lying.
one that I'm thinking about is Mari with the paternity test.
no, it wasn't a
It's
show like that.
determined you are the father. It is a lie.
Those are my favorite. And I don't even watch it. I just like to watch the clips when people post it on Facebook or something. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, when they do a fraternity on 15 men, I'm like, Lord Jesus.
I am not seeing his cards on his website.
Colmettos?
So you guys know, I know I'm a cheeser, and I have a tarot and card addiction and pendulum addiction. Did y'all know that Spencer's, the novelty store, made a tarot deck?
No.
Oh yeah, and what else does too? That Spirit Halloween.
Yeah, I bought Spencer's tarot deck. It should be getting shipped to me. Actually, I should say Rob gifted me the tarot deck. Rob gifted me Spencer's tarot deck, and it should be on its way to me. But I was like one of
I
their
never
questions
heard
was,
of it.
yeah, they like it looks really cool. But I was like, you know what? Let me get it before they don't make that one, and then everybody's gonna be like, I really wish I had that Spencer's tarot deck. I'd be like, yes, I got it when it was only $8.
Well, Nika says she has it too, and I will tell you too. And a lot of people give flax about the tarot deck, but Miss Cleo tarot deck is actually a really easy tarot deck to pick up on and read. And I think it's like a $6 deck, and a lot of people sleep on it because of the connection with Miss Cleo. But it actually really is a good deck for people that are trying to read tarot because it breaks down. So that's interesting. I'm gonna have to look for the Spencer one and see what it looks like.
Oh,
I can't wait to. I saw a couple of cards. I can't wait to get that one. But I'm also trying to get. Do you guys remember? Well, Sabrina, Chilling Tales of Sabrina. Everyone said that she came out with a tarot deck too, but it was a limited
Really?
print and it was gone. So I was looking for the artist, and I think she does it by special order. To be able to
I'm
get
waiting for
that.
Cardi B to drop hers.
girl, IKEA's got one. It's most,
IKEA?
yes, most ridiculous thing you ever seen. It's like furniture you have to build to. Girl, they got cards with pictures of furniture you have to build. This is called the Hoodoo Queen Tarot, and the way he's got it set up, you got to choose from a drop down list. So I'm gonna post the link in here. It's on Conjure South. It's not on his.
Oh, okay, for Cold Meadows. Yeah, Chaz, the Call Me Now lady. Call me now. Yeah. She
Is
has a
it?
deck.
I mean, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say you can find it on Amazon and eBay. But if you are a beginner reader and you read tarot cards, it may be, if you're versed in reading tarot cards, it may be too elementary for you. But if you're trying to learn, it has a lot of the words and the sayings on it so people can pick up as they go and learn as they go. Because it depends on what kind of reader you want to be. You have some that are very technical, like Lynna. Lynna researches everything. She reads the book. She takes notes. She writes a new book. She creates a new deck in her hand, in her head. I mean, she's very a historian. So she goes back to the beginning and works her way back. I don't know. She's very deep. So I would say you probably research a lot too with your decks, but you're intuitive. The way that you pick up things, and you're more psychological. In all your readings, you're more psychological. So you look more for feelings and connections with that, the way that I see it. And I think both are two different ways of reading. And me, of course, I just throw cards and whatever comes up. But
Did I at least pick a good man for you in the deck I made?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you got me the guy from the originals, Marcel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, Lynna created her own deck.
Oh, but she didn't say she created her own deck and we couldn't buy it.
You can't buy it.
Yeah, well, it has her family pictures on it. It has her kids. It has her
Oh,
dog.
okay, yeah, no.
So
That's
somebody could
different.
work her.
Yeah, that's
But
different. No.
technically, I mean, if you do create a deck, you can
You
still
got
be worked by your own deck.
somebody could work Tanya through my deck.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
somebody
want
could.
that.
Well, I
Mm-mm.
don't think anytime you create something, say you make a mojo hand for somebody, say you make an oil for somebody, you're putting your essence into your product. So you can be worked by your products if you're dealing with people that want to, work you. There's a lot of
Yeah,
people that buy your stuff so that they can work you.
But you got to remember too that if they buy a product from us, say any of us three, we sell a product to somebody and then they try to work that product, We got their money, so we can work their money.
Well, technically, yeah. But I
So
will say, don't
don't
do.
work us.
That's true. But if you are a worker dealing with other workers or you're mailing products to other workers, don't include a personalized note with your writing in your signature, because you can be worked
Um,
that way through.
Sorry, I have to go back and forth because I'm on my phone. But I have a, I wanted to read this question, and just so you guys know, it is like an open forum tonight, so ask your questions. But Eve said that, she had a question concerning stones. I don't know if anyone answered it or not, but although she has her personal feeling and opinion on it, resin-made stones versus real stones, can you achieve the same vibrations between the two?
Hmm.
So here is my take on that, and it's my own personal opinion. But if energy is stored into a certain material or mineral, then that's where that energy and that vibration comes from. I do not think that you can get that same energy from a resin, from something that's man-made. I hate when people say, "Oh, we're gonna sell you this tiger's eye," and then it's just a colored agate or just a colored stone. It's not the actual tiger's eye. It does not,
Yeah.
in my opinion, have that same vibration.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. I think you can anoint things and make them sacred. You can make them holy. You can put power into things, but there's certain natural things that already have power that you are magnifying by anointing it. So I will agree with you. This nail, when you look at iron, by itself, it's powerful. It already has a power to it. But when I put my protection oil and then I pray over it, I make it more powerful. You don't get the same thing with resins and plastics. You don't,
Mm-mm.
because they don't hold energy, not the way that you would want them if you're a worker. It depends on what you're trying to do. There are a lot of people that sell anointed things where they pour oil and they pray over it, but I agree with you. It doesn't have the natural properties of that stone or that mineral. Are y'all arguing about this man on the
Marcel,
origins? Charles
the original,
Chaz is
he
like,
is
put
so
some respect
fine.
on his name.
Marcel is so fine. Like
Oh
I
my
the first
God,
time I
he
saw
he has
him,
he has beautiful teeth. I can't get past the teeth. His smile is just, oh my
I
God.
mean everything,
Yes,
everything.
yes.
He's
You
on
know,
he's on NCIS New Orleans too.
yeah, he is.
Oh, well, I didn't know that, so I guess I have to just watch my new favorite show, NCIS or New Orleans. That's what my new favorite show is.
Hmm.
Oh,
He
okay.
reminds me. He has a smile like Donovan. Donovan has a smile like that too, where he it lights up his whole freaking face.
Oh, but I mean,
He smiles so big his eyes squint.
okay,
Hmm.
okay, really.
Yeah, we don't move from the crystals to the man smile. Let's get back. We up here. We sound like a bunch of horny women up there talking about, and we dreaming about it too. All our eyes rolling in the back of our head.
Look,
Smile.
we're gonna have vivid dreams tonight.
I'm telling you, if I could manifest that dude, I'd be like, ooh. I don't think there's. I
Shit,
mean, I know some old ladies that be dropping their long term husbands. They'd be like,
girl,
Marcel,
if you manifest him, I'm gonna put you in a coffin, and then I'm gonna have to come over there and snatch him. It's about to be some spiritual warfare. I'm just gonna be honest about it.
I mean, like,
Him,
damn.
him, and Idris Elba. I'm just like, okay, I got to figure out how to get in there and snatch without killing somebody to snatch.
I like Idris's voice. I like his energy, but I'm not drawn to Idris Elba like everybody else is. But I am drawn to the guy who plays Marcel with his fine Galatian self. Mm.
Yeah, he is fine. Idris Elba, he walks to me like he has a big penis, and I that
Because
isn't
he
a.
does have a big penis.
He walks with his legs open like he needs room for it to swing, and that touches my heart some kind of way. It just touches my heart.
Look, Tanya, the swinging penis done got you in trouble once before.
I can't help it. I like swinging penises. I mean that, hey, I'm Tanya. I like swinging penises. It is what it is.
We should be
All
like,
right, let's
"Hi,
get
Tanya.
back into
Welcome
the
to the
stuff.
group."
We just went left. Let's come back. Okay, so Alyssa was like she likes raw crystals instead of tumble, which is it's really one of those things where somebody took me to one of those caves where you chip things off
Mm-hmm.
and you actually can feel if they're not polished, if they're raw, you actually feel more energy, vibration from them. So I will agree with that.
Hmm. I want to go chip some stones. I know those people found well, there's these two guys that they broke open this geode and it was this huge heart-shaped amethyst geode.
Mm-hmm.
It was like amazing. I was like, what would I do with that? I'd lose my
Oh, I
mind.
would love to have one that is just huge. I saw one that was like $3,000, and I was like, when I get a chance. Let's look at Carol Larry. Carol Larry says, has anyone ever been able to answer yes or no question by energy from your hand? I've been doing this, but a little uneasy because I don't want to open up a door I can't close. First of all, as a massage therapist and as a healer, there is a lot of energy shift that comes from you, and especially if you are a healer. For me, it works in my favor. That I can feel, I can run my hands over, almost like Reiki. I can run my hands over somebody's body, and they can go, "Oh, my foot is hurting," and I go massage their neck, and it helps their foot, and they're like, "How do you know that?" And it's because I can map out the energy. I can feel in their body where there's a block. So can you answer questions, sometimes medical, intuitive with your hands? Yes, you can. Can you heal people with the energy from your hand? Yes, you can.
Absolutely.
Can you send distant healing energy with your hands and your thoughts? Yes, you can. And it's not opening a door you can't close, babe. It's because you're a healer and you probably have done this before. Everybody has the ability to heal.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone. It depends on how focused you are and how in tune you are to your own body.
Yeah,
So
we had.
you guys, what are your thoughts?
Well, remember when we had Mark Colville on here, and he was talking
Hmm.
about Reiki and all, and the different types of Reiki and different types of healing. You can do distance healing with your hands,
Hmm.
sending the energy out. You can do it, you know, when they're right there, all different ways. But yeah, he was talking about Reiki too.
Yeah. There's a lot of different systems of Reiki too
Mm-hmm.
that people tend because some people think of it as just basic oh you just
Do it.
hand movements. There are so many. When Yoda was sick, I would send him healing because I was healthy. I felt the energy and I was like, I want to go ahead and make him better. So I would send him positive energy. I would send healing to the organs inside of him. So I think a lot of people, when you're put in positions where you feel like your a loved one is in the hospital or someone is going through something, you would be amazed at the power that you have as a healer to make changes. What do you feel, Shishi?
I agree. I definitely agree. I feel like, she's not gonna you're not gonna open a door that you can't close unless you don't know how to cleanse yourself after you're doing healing or working with
Yeah,
people,
absolutely.
The
things like
easiest
that.
way to cleanse yourself is just uh, put your hands into running water, and
There's
that
a lot of
But some people's
seems
energy
like a
is
faucet.
so big. Some people's energy is so big it can go past your hands.
Oh yeah, I've massaged people where I've had to come home and take a full on bath because they had attachments or they had blockages that were just way bigger than what. But I will agree, water as a basic,
Or a
if you,
Hmm.
tree. Like,
yeah,
you hear about the tree huggers. If you hug a tree, it releases all that energy into the tree. And
I
that
also
is
it's
very
heard
just,
just
true.
walking barefoot
hmm
in the
or
like
putting
in
your hands on the ground, or your bare
yeah.
feet in the ground.
Hmm.
The connection with earth to me is always going to be powerful for healers because you can get power from the earth and you can also have power or energy transmuted that's not good from the earth.
Hmm.
I have hugged trees and it is weird because you do feel the vibration. You really, especially old trees. When I went to Puerto Rico, there was a tree that was hundreds of years old and I hugged it and I felt like my whole body was vibrating because of the energy that this tree had. So,
Yeah,
you
and
know,
it will actually absorb the negative energy from you and
yeah.
give you good energy.
And animals too. Animals do the same thing to you. Cats, when you come into the house, cats will rub on you and cleanse you because they can sense the attachments.
it's
Or the
almost like what would you call it? Energy dialysis.
I guess you could.
You're giving them the bad energy and taking the good energy back. It's like the cleanup,
Well, that is the
Well, it
balance
depends.
of
Like,
it, right?
huh?
well, when a cat does it, it's like the transmutation of energy.
Yeah.
True.
Very little. I mean, when it comes to like energy, very little sticks to cats.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is, but maybe it's because they don't care. I don't know what it is,
They give
but
no fucks. They give none.
yeah, they were like, "Let me rub on this, take that away from you, transmute it." Okay, well, I'm gonna run out the house or do whatever I'm gonna do normally now.
Yeah.
But I see Alyssa saying, ask for permission, before you just hug a tree, and it's true. If you're going to, do anything with nature, at least come from a standpoint of preparing to be grateful
Hmm.
with
She
that.
says an answer prepares.
And
I'm just seeing it.
you can give an offering back to the earth, for helping you.
You know, we all need to get in the place of mindfulness. I always keep coins on my purse or in my pocket, because if I go to a graveyard, I leave coins. If I go to the ocean, I leave coins. Anytime you take things away, you need to leave something behind. Now, Elisa is right. There are certain places that I have been where spirit is saying, do not take this rock, or do not come in this area. And it's because I am not welcome there. And it could be a cultural thing. It could be also that people have come and abused it. So we have to also be mindful. As you know, sometimes with tourists, we go places and I used to be bad with that, going to the ocean and bringing back shells, um, because they were beautiful, but not leaving an offering. And sometimes they would get taken in customs because I didn't properly exchange energy. So I've learned that whenever you take something, you need to leave something. And a lot of people do that in the graveyard. They go in there and dig up dirt. They go in there and bury stuff in people's graves, and then they just walk out. And I'm like, no, you don't do that.
Mm-mm. Take a little flask with you.
Yeah, you need to pour some rum or something. You have to give them something. So she's right. And I think Americans tend to have that. We're entitled.
Hmm.
When we travel and we go places and we just pick flowers and stuff, we tend to not even think about it. But we need to be respectful to the environment.
I think the thing that gets me the most is when Americans go places and they'll go to these sacred areas or these places that are beautiful, and they're like, I think we're just gonna take something, and they go home with it. I'm like, what? Who told you
Yeah,
you could take that? Then their life starts falling apart. Like the people who take love, or the
yeah,
people who took something from some sacred burial ground. I'm like, what is? Y'all thought that was okay?
yeah.
Does that seem normal? And then they go home, life all jacked up, and they can't send it back.
It's true. They had an incident with that in Peru where they had a tree where everybody had all these pictures nailed to this tree. And it was a working tree that somebody, a medicine man or a medicine woman, had created to do work on people. And this guy saw a picture of a beautiful girl, took it off the tree, thought it would be cute, and literally his life went downhill because this woman, somebody had put some bad juju on the girl. The picture was marked. So it's like, why would you do that? Why would you go to a tree where you have same thing with people with these locks, where these locks of love and they're trying to break the locks open? Why would you do that? But we live in a society where people tend to think that, there's no boundaries. I want it, so I'm going to take it. But in the spiritual, you can't do that.
Mm. I'm reading Alyssa's comment where she shared some liquor with a deceased man named Cecil, and his family hadn't visited him in 5 years, and he told her that she could bury her work by his grave.
Oh, that is sweet.
That
That
is
is
sweet.
sweet. I've had clients that have brought candy. That's why I don't bring candy. They brought candy in, and then they'll get in their car and they'll bring these kids, spirit kids will go home with them because these people are nice to them. And I was like, nah, I'll leave you some coins, or I'll pour you a little bit liquor. But you have to be really careful. And a lot of people don't know that if you go over water after you visit a cemetery, spirits can't cross over that water barrier.
That's
So
when
it
you work too. Um, well, I've done some work on somebody that I didn't like at all, them kind of deals, and to dispose of it, I was supposed to dispose of it in a body of water.
Mhm.
So what I did was, this is when I lived on the mainland. I drove over the causeway to Galveston, then went on the ferry across to Bolivar, and then threw it in the outhouse because there's water in the bottom of the porta potty because there's
Mhm.
water in the bottom of the porta potty. But then I came back across the water twice so that it could, because it was some bad shit I did. Yeah.
The
But
worse, the more strong that the work is, definitely you need to take more precautions. Nika, an example of a water barrier would be, like she said, a causeway where you're going over a river, a lake. If you're
no,
driving over a bridge or something that has water under it, spirit will not cross over that bridge because the water is going to break up their energy. They cannot follow you over that water. That's why a lot of cemeteries in older neighborhoods are on the other side of the city or the community, and there's a bridge because some of the old time people designed it that way so that you. Oh, Lord, y'all, I'm tearing everything down in my back.
yes.
I was like, oh,
Yes.
your laptop,
That
no.
spirit,
And
that
listen,
spirit says, I'm crossing that bridge after you,
they
girl.
like, don't be telling them people that. They always get on me. They be like, you talk too much, Tanya. You talk too much. But that's how some old communities were. They did it because they didn't want the spirits to follow their loved ones back home. So
Mm-hmm.
they would have the cemetery over the other side of a water element. And if you do some really dark work, like Lynna was saying, you really want to do that. You want to go ahead and leave your work there. Now, there's a certain spiritual person, witch, and I don't get along with her. So I ain't gonna even say no names because I know it'll get back and I'll have a whole fucking headaches behind it. But she teaches people to look for the graveyards where there are serial killers or um, abusers
And
or
tranquil spirits.
in tranquil spirits, people that have been very abusive or died in a very traumatic way because of the way they lived their life, and to get dirt from their grave sites and to work with them and bury your work there. The problem with that is that some of these spirits were very chaotic in life and they will still be chaotic in death. So if you've taken that class, if you listen to that bullshit, do not do that because you will not be able to control those spirits. You always ask a spirit for permission to work with him or her. Like Lisa said, she gave him some alcohol. He said, you can bury your work here. If you deal with in
And
tranquil
tranquil.
spirits that are very abusive, you have no way of controlling them. I don't care how good or how strong you are. You have no way of controlling them.
But what a lot of people fail to tell you when you're working with intranquil spirits is your spell is most likely to backfire on you
Yeah,
because
I was
that
gonna say
energy.
there's always other alternatives because the shit I work, instead of going and getting graveyard dirt, I I came down to Galveston because it was right after Ike. You can gather up broken glass, rusty nails, hurricane water, all kinds of stuff, rather than put yourself at jeopardy by going in there, because not only will it backfire you, but you might have some shiesty shit follow you home.
Well,
Exactly.
and
I
that's
can
when you
say
really need a
working.
water element.
I can say like from experience, having worked with tranquil spirits, it is not it's not fun. In the sense of if there's a lot of steps to do before you work with the
Yeah.
intranquil spirits, then during the intranquil spirit working, and then after the intranquil spirit working, it's a lot. The first step is you have to make sure for a while that you're mentally sound and that you're not being a hypocrite. Then you have to bathe in hyssop. After doing a cleansing bath, then you have to have certain um, perfumes and certain other oils and things on you so that the tranquil spirit knows that it's not you that is trying to work. It's like, yeah, just don't do
They'll
it.
turn on you if you have
Really quickly.
any type of disorder, or if you're sick or whatever. They literally can make you sick, or they can turn on you. You have to be very cautious. Now, if you don't give a fuck about what happens to you, but there are a lot of people that call on them and then they send them out. They don't call them back. They don't close that door with them. And then you got these wayward spirits that are just out there fucking people up for no goddamn reason.
And
I
staying
mean,
in houses.
yeah, and I would never be the one to tell a person how to practice, but I think you have a responsibility when you teach people. You can't just throw information out there that can potentially fuck them up and
Right.
not give them that disclaimer that you can do this. You can break up with your boyfriend or your girlfriend and put an tranquil spirit on their ass, but make sure that you're right in that situation, because they don't take directions like angels, and angels don't really take directions
Right.
either. But you get a little bit more leeway with certain spirits that you have a connection with versus spirits you don't even fucking know. I don't know you're a you're a serial killer. Maybe you don't like black women.
Well,
Maybe
you
you
do.
have an
Yeah.
issue with me. So now I don't set you free, and now you want to come back and you want to fuck me up.
Well, and if you
It's
think
like
about it,
those.
too, if you're really wanting to cause chaos, we have enough natural chaos around us. Like I was saying with the hurricane, you say you got the serial killer, right? Okay, he killed 12 people, so he's a serial killer. How many people do you think a hurricane will kill? If you really want to fuck some shit up, you don't necessarily have to go to these bad spirits that are going to attack
Mhm.
you, and you can do a hell of a lot of damage.
That's true too.
Mhm.
That's true too.
I
Because
think the
a
thing that,
hurricane will shoot off tornadoes and kill even more people. They like send out ripples.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
but you
serious.
can also get items that don't have to do anything with perhaps a spirit, but the energy of a thing. Like I
Exactly.
have prison keys. I wanted to get insane asylum keys, things like that. You can get certain
Mm-hmm.
objects that you can work, using that energy without having to, work directly with a spirit.
Yeah,
And that,
Alyssa's saying people need the foundational work, and it is true. And I think each potential worker should do what they're led to do, because I think your ancestors and elevated spirits that work with you will guide you. But you have to be open to, a lot of people don't want to listen to the spirits that
Mhm.
walk with them because we get caught up in emotion. I'm hurt, so I want to hurt. And I
Mhm.
get that. I think everybody has been there where somebody has done you dirty and you're like, I want to fuck you up. But you have to look, to me, whenever you do any type of work or magic, you have to have your foundation and you have to have control over what you do. If
And
you
don't
don't, you're going to lose control of it and it will come back and backfire on you.
and don't do
So,
Mhm.
it the instant they piss you off. Wait 24 hours and then see if you still want to do it.
And depending on the spell, you should wait longer than 24 hours, depending on what you're trying to do. I mean, so often you hear people, oh, I want to have a death spell. Let's do this death spell. And you're just sitting here like, is it really worth that person dying, or is it really worth what you're about to throw at them?
Hmm.
And
yeah,
you have to look at the scales.
Is it justified?
it's
Are
a,
you will it back
true.
for you?
It's a lot of people that do death spells on ex-husband, ex-wives, and you have children with this person. And this is the way things work. If you try to hit someone and they're protected and their kids are not protected, or your kids with this person are not protected, that spell work, it has there's no name.
The
It
ripple.
goes after the blood. That's how it traces the person. So when you ask it to go after this person and the person is protected or shielded, it's going to go to that next blood source that connects. And that's how a lot of people's kids get hit. Their family members get hit. And there's nothing wrong with being a bad witch, if that's what you want to do. But you have to understand the cycle of how work works. Because I've had people that thrown at me and it hasn't hit me, but it's hit my kids because I left them wide open.
Mhm.
And it's because certain spirits I work with are protecting me. So now that I see that, I have to expand my protection to your animals, to your
Yes.
cards. to your relationships. There are a lot of people that relationships get hit. All of a sudden you're happy and then your mate is losing their fucking mind because they took the hit that was it goes a whole lot deeper than just opening a book and saying I want to fuck somebody up. Because when you enter into a spiritual warfare, the gloves are off. The
And I think it's,
casualties are there.
I think a lot of people, they don't realize. I mean, it really is frustrating when people are just causing issues for no reason. It drives me crazy. It's just so immature when you see
Yeah, well,
people
it
like,
is.
oh, I'm mad at you, and so I'm going to ruin your whole life. But for what? But for what? But I think that also comes with maturity as a practitioner, but not only that, maturity as a person on what you choose to put your energy on as well. But,
Mm-hmm.
going back to what you said, the blood source, a lot of people are so quick to want to cause issues in other people's lives. And then they think, we're going to do a blood spell. Well, that blood spell ties that spell to you.
Absolutely.
So you're going to partially feel what you've thrown at somebody. The
Yeah.
blood spell doesn't just break because it hit the person that it was supposed to hit. And like people forget about that. But then not only do they, not fully research what happens when maybe it doesn't go as planned, but then people fail to research the person that they're throwing at.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
And
yeah.
Or
I
they change their mind. Like I want to mess, I want to fuck his penis up, so it won't work. So he can't be with her. And then y'all get back together, and you wonder why his penis don't work.
yep, or the vagina's messed up, or their mind is all chaotic and acting weird, and they're obsessive and
Yeah.
possessive.
I
You
laugh
know,
whenever they come for readings and shit like that. I'm like, well, what did you do? I fucked him up and now I want him back. So now you mad because his shit don't work and his mind is all he needs some type of psychological help. You did that shit.
exactly.
You did that shit. I always tell people, you break up with me, be glad that it didn't work out going on your own. Don't be trying to come over here and fuck my vagina up. That ain't right.
Right?
Yeah, that ain't right.
Never burn a bridge you may want to cross again.
Yeah, you that mad at me that you want to make my shit itch for the next 24 years? Like, what the fuck did I do to you? It's like,
If you
what
try to
the
make my
fuck?
shit itch for the next 24 years, I'm gonna just ask yours to rot the fuck off, because I'm like, that's just rude at this point in time. I'm a Lorena Bob at you spiritually.
Exactly. My prayer, and I'll tell anybody this, whenever I do reversals, I say, Spirit, everything that they're trying to take away from me, take away from them. Now, I can guarantee for the most part, I have a very good relationship with my spirits. You very rarely catch me slipping. So if you're not keeping your altars up, if you're not keeping your protection up, and you want to work me, I guarantee you my reversals are good because if your shit is slipping, I'm going to get you. So if you're going to
I
work
can
me, you got to keep your shit tip top. Tip top.
I can honestly concur with that, because I know when I moved and I didn't have any of my stuff really. I only had a little bit of stuff, and I was like, Tanya,
Mm-hmm.
some stuff has happened. There is assistance kind of needed, and it was gone. I was like, thank you, appreciate
Girl, I keep
you.
my altars going 25. And it's because, and it's sad, it's because I get unnecessary attacks. I
Hmm.
think sometimes people just want to try you out, especially if you post a lot about what you do. And I don't post about anything with my work and stuff like that. My work is private to me. My spiritual life is private to me, unless we talk about things like this. But I think a lot of times when you online and you're very vocal and people want to try you or they want to
Hmm.
poke you a little bit, like Rob is saying, Mama Star says never to do work on people weaker than you. And I agree with that. But if
Hmm.
you're weaker than me and you come poking me, I'm going to give you a little pinch because I'm going to let you know that you need to stop fucking with me. Because at a certain point, I don't care if you are weaker or whatever, if you're attacking me or my family, we got a problem.
Yeah,
But
but you gotta think too, Tanya. If somebody weaker than you attacks you, your shit's already up.
normally, I don't even have to do
Already up.
anything.
So
I
it's not
really
gonna get
don't.
through. Now,
It's true. But it is a
I,
simple fact. It's a respect to me. It's a
mm-hmm.
respect. I'm not gonna work you. I'm not gonna work she. There, I just don't do it. I'm never the one to initiate attacks. My whole thing is I will fend them off until I feel like you have fucked. You just fucked me up today.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah.
But I mean, most people, most workers don't, it's like a fly. You swat it, you swat it, you swat it until you get tired of swatting it. And people don't realize that you can play with a person up to a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's got a line.
The person that is quiet and meek is the main one that will fuck your life up. The ones that are sitting up on I'm doing work, I'm flipping it this way, I'm charging $15,000 for my class. Those are not people you have to worry about. The
Mm-mm.
ones that are living in some backwoods shack, taking a bath in the creek, those are the motherfuckers that are going to ruin your life. You won't ever see them on Facebook.
They don't have
Those are the ones.
any sort of social
They're
media
quiet
connection.
because they're taking all your notes. They know what you're doing.
Oh shit, yeah, that shit has been passed down through the family. They don't broadcast that shit. Rob had a thing where some people were attacking him and they were showing the work. And it was so funny to me because I was like, no worker would ever do that. If I was gonna go after Rob's ass, I would be smiling in his face, baking him cookies, shipping them off to him, and trying to destroy his life at the same time. He wouldn't even fucking know. But
Rob, eat the cookies.
don't take the cookies, Rob.
I think,
You've been on
I
the
think
toilet
that's
for a week. Don't do it.
I think that's the weird thing, though. I know, Tonya, there's sometimes where I'm like, blah, 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 and you're like, take it down, take it off Facebook. And I'm like, it didn't seem so bad. But,
Yeah, but I'm
I
good for
think,
that. She don't post that. Don't put that out there.
I'm like, I'm going to suck your soul out and let you die. I'll be like, I don't care.
So,
But,
yeah.
But, I think oftentimes, like, everybody wants to make someone scared of them.
Oh,
And I
everybody's
think that,
a badass, but all they are wannabes.
and I mean, I'm just like, and I know there was one group I was in, and she was like, people who write their spells are real weak. I was like, chick, what?
People that write their spells are weak.
That they write their own spells. They're like, because those spells aren't strong enough. I'm like,
How do you
obviously not met a lot
how
of
do you produce your
practitioners that write their own
grimoire
spells.
if you don't write down your spells and your work to be what does that mean?
And the ones you
Some
write
people,
yourself are the ones that you put more feeling into. You're not
some
saying to
people,
somebody
they
else's
feel like,
words.
if they feel like it's been repeated or used a lot because a lot of energy has gone into that specific spell and it's amplified that energy, then they're like, well, we'll use that spell and it amplified that energy. I only have one spell when I was first starting that was like that. And it's a really nice protection spell. But other than that, I mean, I think it's best to write your own spells because then it's, it's you and you're passing it down to your family or to the other people that, will be studying from you, which is a lot of the
Yeah.
times when people are like, are you going to teach? I'm like, I get kind of hesitant, to share certain spells or share spellcraft because I write my own stuff.
You can't teach a motherfucker that everything you know. You can't. Because a lot of them aren't going to respect the tradition and the love and the power and the magic that goes into your work. Some of that stuff will be passed down, but it will be passed down. It's just like with ATRs. You don't just get to come in and work with all the spirits. They don't have books. In voodoo, there's no books. You have to, the knowledge is passed down, and if the person dies, and you have to go to the other person who has the knowledge. There's no books. But when you deal with like Jasmine or kids who want to learn, or my family that wants to learn, of course I would have a grimoire because I want them to have the recipes that work for me, whether they want to use them or not.
Those are recipes, though. But when you do a spell, what makes it work is your intent. So you would, because anybody can read a book, anybody can read words. But until you put your own feeling and your own drive behind it,
Absolutely.
So when you're writing down your own words, you're pouring out your heart.
Yeah.
There's more feeling and intent in that than anything else.
Yeah.
Exactly. But a lot of people, they feel like it should be given to them. And I think, a lot of people feel like when you get older and as you get older into the craft that you just stop studying. You don't ever stop studying. You never stop learning and you never stop studying.
You never know everything. You just, you don't. Even as an older practitioner, there's some things that younger practitioners that are doing that I'm like, wow, I like that. it cuts out steps for me, that the way I learned it, it makes it a little bit more simplified. So I think you have to be open, but you also have to understand and be have discernment when there's bullshit. Like um Rob had posted something about waist beads turning into snakes at some type of ceremony or whatever. And then I think Elisa had something where people were taking cocaine because in American Horror Story, Papa Legba was snorting cocaine, which that wasn't even a representation of Papa Legba. So it's like, okay, so you're going to turn yourself into a drug addict because of something, an interpretation that you saw. Where's your discernment?
Yeah, you got to have common sense.
I mean, your ancestors have to be somewhere in there, and your ancestors, and we're not just talking about cousin Mabel that just crossed over, because we have ancestors that have not elevated, but we do have ancestors that have elevated, or ascended masters that are waiting to give you knowledge. Why would you go follow bullshit when you got all this stuff? You just got to connect with spirit.
Because once again, it goes to the fact that people don't want to study; they want it given to them. And you know, you're right. Voodoo, all those traditional African traditional religions, it requires that you initiate, and it requires that you get the learning from that family or from that house. A lot of the time, people are just spewing out things and they just want this quick, easy fix for everything that's a problem. Oh my God, I spent all my check and I'm supposed to pay rent. How can I get, I don't know, $2,000 quickly? What? Is there a candle spell? Is there this? I mean, but there's a lot of, studying that goes into learning what it is that everybody does.
People treat, I agree. People treat spirituality like a religion.
Like a
Like a
genie,
Jesus
actually.
thing. Like, oh, Jesus, I need you. Jesus, come take the wheel. And then once that situation is done with, then they put it on the shelf. They don't deal with it again. Practitioners and workers that have made this a commitment, a lifetime commitment, this is what you do.
Yeah.
You put seasonings in your food while you pray over your food. You put bay leaves and rosemary in your food because you're protecting your family, not only on the outside, but the inside. There's a way you plant your garden outside because it protects your home, how you grow your food. There's a difference between this being a fad and actually being a practice that is a way of life.
It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle.
It really is. So it's a difference between people who actually live this and people that are opening up a YouTube because they want to learn something temporarily. You know, I mean, there's always a simplified way of getting something done. But when you call yourself a practitioner, you have to practice. You have to read. You have to research. You have to take classes. I don't know. I've been blessed. I mean, early on, there were books and things that opened up that door, but I've been blessed to find mentors that took me a little bit deeper, where there was stuff that wasn't even in the books. So I think, I don't know. I think people just have to be discerning about who they connect with.
So
Eve is
let's
asking.
answer this. Yeah.
Eve is asking, can I ask if there's any information on druids out there? I've been doing research, but I don't have the resources. I haven't come into information about them. Do you ladies have some thoughts on druid? There are druid groups out there. They are very secret. I believe there's one, I want to say Arizona. I don't remember the name of it. I'll have to look it up. But it takes like 20 years. 20 years to go through their training.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not Wicca you can do in 5 years, sometimes less to get up to high priestess status. But druids, 20 years. It's 20 years.
And I think they have a step system, and that's like not not all of it's 20 years, but it depends on the step of what you're trying to do and how encompassed you are trying to be in that world.
It's
interesting because a lot of the druids that I meet, they don't call themselves druids. And it's weird.
What do they call themselves? How do they identify?
They don't. You have to watch their actions and their practice, but they don't call themselves druids.
Can you bring my phone over here when you get a chance? That's interesting.
But I mean, Frank does druidry.
Yeah, I remember. I remember him talking about it. Now, how long has he been into this? Because I know Frank has done this for a while.
He's been in it for a while. So it has to be, I know it's probably at least 10 plus years. At
Wow.
least. And he's been in it for a while. And like, he rarely takes on students. Like, they're very serious when they take on students. Very serious about it. And depending on where you come in, that's why it may take you a little bit longer, because they make you sit there and learn it front to back. So yeah, it's a whole lifetime.
I think whenever you look into organizations or groups or communities that, you know, and that's with anything, a coven, an ATR joining a house or joining, you know, some organization or society, that there's always commitment that is involved, because even for a Mambo, it takes 7 years. Oh, wow. Thank you, babe. I love you. It takes 7 years to become a Mambo. So when you first get initiated, initiation is literally a birth. And you are from that point learning things. And even in a coven, how many years does it take to become a high priestess in a coven?
Between about 5 years.
Yeah.
About 5 years.
So I think with things like that, you already know that it's going to be a commitment, and it's going to take a lot of research and studying. If you're committed to really doing it the right way, if you're just coming in, there's a lot of people that buy titles that have no intention of doing the work. They just want to put the title on a web page or be called that, and that's it. But if you're really going to do it right, and it looks like Eve is really researching it, then she needs to get with the proper mentor that can take her to that next level.
I wanted to go back on a comment that Nika was talking about, and I'm not going to throw it out there because we were all looking at the flyer. But we were talking about a class that's about to be taught, a class on how to connect with demons. And this goes back in a way to what you were saying, Tonya, about us being responsible when we teach people certain things.
Yeah. You can't, how long is the class? Is it a series?
From what I see, it's just one class. I'm not sure. I have to look again.
How can you fucking learn to connect to a demon with one class? There's invocation. There is certain language. If you don't know the pronunciation, if you don't understand how to bind a demon, how can you learn that in one class?
Well, we'll say, like, just to be fun and fancy free, that let's say it's a series. The class is costing $222. But here's the deal that I have. A lot of people are going to be pulled into this, learning to work with demons, because they hear, oh, if you get a demon, could be able to connect with the demon, then, you know, you're able to get rich, you're able to get this, you're able to get that. But no one tells you, because in the reality of it, working with the demon can be contractual.
It is a contract.
And it depends on which demon you're trying to summon up as well.
Yeah. Are you going to make a blood pact with all 72? Are you going to make a blood pact with one particular one? Is it conflicting with other spirits that you work with? Will other spirits be able to work with the demon? There's a lot of things that need to go into that before you just summon a demon.
And will the demon that you summon get along with the demons that you were born with?
True, because we all have a demon that we're born with.
Mm-hmm.
So it would make better sense to work with the demon that is over you before you start bringing in other demons.
So here's the thing that I feel about that. You know, like, I think I have not worked with demons. I'll be straight up honest. I haven't. But my thing is, you can mess up one small part of whatever you're doing and be lifetime fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Just like writing code on a computer. You miss one little comma and the whole thing's just gone. Screwed.
Lifetime fucked. And so I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, some of these people don't have the foundation to prepare them to work with the demon.
Absolutely.
And so then the question is, because the class is put out there and let's say all these people sign up for it, would it then end up being the teacher's fault if the student's life falls apart, or is it the student for not being prepared?
Both.
Both. They both hold an accountability, because if I'm paying somebody to teach me something, you cannot learn that in one class setting. So if I decide to go and summon this thing without knowing how to banish it, or at least bind it, I'm gonna fuck myself up. Now, we have a mutual friend that literally housed 72 demons in his body. He
72
had major,
familiars. Your demon familiars.
right, but he had major medical problems, and it ended up ripping apart a part of his life that was very important to him. And it was not his intention, and I'm pretty sure for some of his spirits it maybe wasn't their intention, but there was conflict. So he was very well versed with working with demons. So when I look at that, I realize that it's a very complicated relationship. There's a lot of things that have to be put in alignment for it to work. And you can't get that in one class. I'm not going to say working with demons is a bad thing. I think if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I'm not opposed to working with demons, but I'm not going to do it until I feel comfortable. There's a lot of Hebrew language that has to be said correctly to invoke
Mm-hmm.
and to banish. If you are one syllable off, you have lost control of what you're trying to do. If you don't understand it, I don't want to fuck something up. I don't want no demon sitting around here laying in my bed looking at me crazy. I
Right.
just
I
don't.
know that's right.
If you
So
say
if I,
if you
But
say
here's that.
yelad or yeled, I mean it's
you
still
have to
yellow,
say,
but are you calling in a boy or a girl?
you
You
have to
know,
say it
yelad,
properly.
yeah. Oh, see, I
And the
said it
pitch
wrong.
with
It's not
it,
yellah, it's yelda,
from what I
yelda
understand,
or yeled.
but from what I understand, there's a certain a tone and pitch that has to go with each thing
It
that you're
is.
doing, because it's like a song, depending on what you're
It's
working with.
very precise. And if you don't understand it, if you study the Keys of Solomon,
Mm-hmm.
and you look at the language and you look at the rituals, you have to be facing east, you have to have a glass of water, you have to be able to say these things, you have to be able to sing these things in that tone. It is a full ritual. This is not something where you're just like, okay, Hecate, you know, protect me. Because even with that, there's rituals. You cannot just call on
Mm-hmm.
any deity or entity and be like, okay, you have to have it right. If you're gonna half ass it, don't do it, you guys. If you're gonna
Right.
half ass it and think that you're gonna cut corners with summoning a demon, it's not something that you cut corners on.
I
Even
don't.
with
But
angels.
I can't
exactly, I
even
was
take
gonna say
the
that's with
tarot in
angels.
one class.
Yeah. Even with angels, there's pronunciations that have to be done right to evoke. If you do not say it right, you're not summoning correctly. If you don't understand, don't bring anything into this dimension that you cannot banish. Because when shit
And
gets
don't
fucked up, you need to know how to send it back. If you don't know how to send it back, don't call it.
and
No, I
don't
don't
go
care how,
by
if
this
you pay
whole
$200 for it or
concept.
not.
Yeah, and don't go by this whole concept just going on the angel thing. That, oh my God, angels are all friendly and loving, and that's no.
No, they're not.
That's
Michael, the most well known angel there is, was a warrior. He
mm-hmm.
Well,
did
and
dirty
here's
work.
the thing. I made a pact with Samael, a blood pact. And I did it with a friend who was very well versed with making a blood pact to an archangel. And I did it for protection and some other personal things. But here it was a very intense ritual where he helped me say the words. He walked me through the things correctly. Would I have done that by myself? No. Would I advise anyone to do that by yourself? No. Hebrew and Arabic language, it's very complicated. It's very complicated to get the pronunciations right. So it's one of those things where I can respect a person who wants to grow in their practice. And like I say, no judgment. I don't care if you want to work with demons, or whatever the fuck is out there. But
But
I'm just gonna,
don't be taken advantage of and think that you can learn it from
yeah, don't give somebody your money that is not gonna fully educate you and walk with you on that journey. You can't just open it up for somebody and go, oh, you gave me $200, now go and summon demons. What the fuck?
You
No,
should
and
not take a
always,
class like that at
even
all.
if they do know their shit, still do your own research as well.
Right. What I
I
was going to say
would.
is do not take a class like that at all, in which you would not be able to contact that person for free should some shit happen.
Well, they should make themselves available. If they teach this class, they should make themselves available 24/7. Because you're
Because it
opening
will,
a portal. You're showing somebody how to open a portal and bring maybe one demon in. We don't know if 15 other demons are going to come in with that one demon if you don't know
yeah,
what you're
because they
doing.
always like to escape, right?
But you have accountability as a mentor, as a teacher, to be with the person that you're mentoring. If you're dropping the ball and you're giving somebody, like some of these groups give a spell that is not even complete. I
Mm-hmm.
was in a group where they were giving an abortion spell and they gave half of the stuff to do. So what is this woman going to do if she has a miscarriage and there's a complication because she starts to lose the baby, but the baby isn't completely aborting? Whose fault is that? The person who gave half the spell, or the woman because she did the spell? There's accountability on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And once again, that goes to like, just taking that concept and you're thinking to yourself, why do you need a spell to fix this situation? I mean, a spell is not going to fix everything.
No.
And
Well, shit,
I
you
mean, I'm
got
not,
plan B. You got plan B. So if you're fucking out there without a condom and you don't want to have a baby, then you go to the drugstore. Some things are not
Yeah.
spiritual. Some
mm-hmm.
things just aren't spiritual.
Speaking
Some
of
things are mundane
being
common
able
sense.
to contact somebody after a class, if you took my puppet class and you have not joined the Discord so that you can discuss things with me if you have questions later on, because I am still adding to, because I keep thinking of, oh, I should have included this. So I keep adding to it. But if you haven't joined the Discord, y'all have been invited. I'm just saying.
I need to go through my stuff. Don't get mad at me, Lynna. I have to go through my stuff. I still have to watch Alyssa's plant class. I wrote
Yeah, well,
Tanya
I mean, I
earlier.
caught part of it, but I think the whole thing is like Alyssa's saying, a proper teacher or mentor makes
Yeah.
themselves available. You don't just drop something on people and then even now, Mama Star teaches me a lot of things, but if I come back and say I fucked up with this or whatever, how do I fix it? She walks me back through how to fix it. She doesn't just leave
Right.
me hanging. I don't care if you pay $20 for a class or 200. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
understand what you're doing, don't do it. If you need a one-on-one class with somebody, contact that person. Be prepared to pay the money, but get that knowledge the right way. There's certain things with alchemy, mysticism, and occults that you just can't half-ass.
Yeah, no.
It can cause
I mean,
problems.
I think we have a
that's why.
question for Tanya.
Oh,
I'm gonna bump out for just a minute. I'll be right back. But go ahead.
Okay,
You
go
got.
ahead. Okay, so Eve is saying on a different level, how do you feel about outer worldly beings, abductions, and I'm gonna be honest. I had a lady, and I've told this story a couple of times. I had a lady a few years ago that asked me to read an alien, her best friend. And I thought she was trying to be funny. I thought she was testing me. And I did the reading and it blew my mind because it showed that there were other beings here. They were in hospitals, they were in universities, they were in politics. Once you open that wormhole, it's really hard to shut it. When I started really meditating deeply, I had an experience where I was pulled into some type of galaxy or a dimension, and it freaked me out. But I saw things that for a logical mind, and I'm an air sign, I'm a Libra. If things aren't logical to me, it's very confusing for me to grasp it. But I've experienced certain things that I cannot explain logically. Is there life on other planets? Scientifically, it has been proven that there is. Are there little green men that are walking around here with slimy bodies? I would prefer not to meet them, but I have to think that there's a possibility. So I will say for me myself, I have become more open-minded in my years. I don't know about you, Shishi.
so I will say I do believe that there are other beings not from our planet. It's logical to me. It just is a logical thing to believe and to know that there is life outside of just us. Now, is it little green men like Tonya said? I don't know, but I'm hoping it doesn't look like the Predator or the Alien, like the bitch from the Alien. And if so, I just need to be able to outrun it. So I'm good with working out as long as y'all give me enough time to outrun, whatever may want to drop down and grab me. But
Yeah, we get caught
but
on
this
Hollywood standards of what an alien life force looks like. And I think for most people, a lot of people make that connection because that's the only thing that we have to compare
but
it with.
but in reality, beings from other planets probably look, some of them probably look like us,
When you
which is
look
why
at
we have
dimensions,
like this.
go ahead, babe. I'm
Sorry.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Which is why we have the star seeds and things like that. They look like us, but they're not really from here, which is why they feel lost.
Right. The indigo children and such.
Hmm.
I
So
think a lot of times we put a lot of labels on things that we don't understand, and then some people are more evolved or more awakened, and maybe that is the knowledge that is supposed to be shared. I'm not sure. I try to keep an open mind. As I get older, there are a lot of things that didn't make sense to me when I was younger, but they're making a little bit more sense now. So I think you tend to be a little bit more open minded about things. I mean, honestly, and this is how I would compare it in the LB QT. What are the abbreviations? Because I know we've added, and I don't want to be offensive.
yeah.
But
It's
when I was growing up,
LGBTQIA plus.
yeah,
I
there's
The
think.
when I was growing
pride
up,
community.
it
Just say
was
the pride community.
right. When I was growing up, it was man and woman. And then I learned that there were bisexual people that liked men and women. And then I learned that, oh, no, there are gay people that don't like one or the other sex. I evolved in my thinking with the way that I looked at with the way I looked at things. And I think that's where I'm going on my spirituality with my journey now is that I'm very open minded because there's a lot of things I don't understand, but I'm willing to understand or at least look at it differently. And Lucian made a comment too about you guys about picking a mentor or a teacher. He's
Mhm.
absolutely correct. If you're connecting with someone, there's tons of people right now that are doing classes. Tons and tons of people. Don't purchase something with the idea that, oh, I want to learn this lesson, and you don't connect with the teacher,
Yeah.
or either you like the teacher but you don't connect with their teaching. Like I could be teaching aliens and some of you may not be into it, but you have to be really careful that you don't put your money into something that doesn't really fulfill your purpose or where you're thinking your spiritual journey is going, because we get lost that way sometimes. And I've done that with mentors where I put a lot of energy into people that weren't worth that energy,
Mm-hmm.
and it was because I was looking for a connection that maybe this person couldn't even give me. So
If
pay
Hmm.
attention to red flags when you're signing up for classes, when you're following people, when you're, thinking about even using them as a mentor. You owe it to yourself to take a little bit more time.
Yeah, I would say that if they're posting pictures of themselves out shopping or getting their hair done or only that stuff, only that stuff, then I wouldn't
Yeah.
last from them because they're just in it for the money. They're not
If
living their
you
life.
Right, if you only see them saying you can use magic for manifestation of money and of material goods,
Put butter
then
on
that's
candles
a
and
Yeah.
very surface level thing.
And I'm amazing how many people out there follow some of these bigger names. And I'm not gonna, because I don't know these people personally, so I'm not gonna put anybody down. But to me, when you have somebody that toots spirituality, but every other post is about buy my money oil or buy my class or buy my whatever, this is a brand. This is a business. This has not a whole lot to do with spiritual growth. They're selling you a brand, and you have 100% free will to figure out if that's something you want to be attached to. Just don't get taken advantage of. Spend your money however you want to spend your money, but try not to get taken advantage of, because right now spirituality is $1 billion business.
yeah, do your
Everybody
research.
everybody has a niche. Everybody has a niche. I have a brand. but you have to make sure you connect with what makes you feel good, what feels right. Eve is talking about protection from abductions. I don't believe in wearing the tinfoil hats. I don't think that does shit. I'm sorry. Even if it does, I just don't connect with that. I think your best form of protection from any energy that you are not familiar with is your ancestral energy, your ascended masters, your higher ancestors that have evolved. Some of them might be aliens. I don't know. But I feel like anytime that you have energies or spirits that you work with and you're uncomfortable with, you need to call on your ancestral protection because they're the ones that have the power to do it.
Agreed.
So,
Agreed. Unless your family wants you abducted.
that could be.
I've never been abducted that I know of, but it's been a while, so if they're gonna be somebody probing, at least let me be awake. I'm just saying.
I just don't want my anus probed. I'm gonna just be
Oh
real.
no, I ain't talking about that.
I just don't want
Wise,
my
honey.
anus probed. I don't want to wake up and my ass is sore. I mean, if you can do it without my ass being sore, I'm okay with it. But if my ass has to be, I'm
Okay, first
sorry.
off, it's wrong for you to completely lie about that because, like, there's so many other worse things besides having your anal probed. I am very sure of that. They're like, so that's what you don't want?
I
Let's
mean,
see.
I've
Let's see
seen them
this one.
give shots in the eyeballs in the movie and things like that. But the only thing people seem to remember is their anus being probed. So there's a problem. The equipment they're using, there's a problem.
I know. It makes you think about Independence Day when he's like, and they did things to me sexually.
Yes. I mean, I know they wipe your memory, and we're going by Hollywood standards, you guys. We're talking like we've been abducted.
Where's the pin? We gotta click the pin.
I mean, I just don't know, but it's normal to be afraid or have anxiety about things that you don't know. We see it all the time. People the same way with voodoo. I was talking to somebody the other day, and he got mad at
Yoda. Yoda was the alien.
hey. But I think anything that comes out of the norm for us is we try to make some type of logical sense of, as humans, what we would not like done. We don't want a demon coming in possessing us. We don't want a ghost causing problems in our life. We don't want aliens coming in and taking our eyeballs or cutting into us. Those are the basic human reactions to things that we don't know. So that's that fear, that's that anxiety.
Understand? Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. If they listening out there, y'all can clip my tongue and scrape my leg, but just don't anal probe me. I mean, I have to draw the line somewhere.
Look,
Have to draw the line.
I only want to be taken if it's an elevation and y'all are doing it to protect me. I don't want to be taken as your racist slaves and I'm going to be out there picking food for you. I don't want any of that. And I don't want
You want to be ascended.
probed.
You don't want to be abducted.
No. Yeah, I don't want any of the crazy stuff.
Well, see, Chaz is saying that his alien soul group, they exchange energy. There's some people that are very much connected to that part of them. I've done readings where people are not connected with this planet because they are not of this planet. How can you, I have no way of explaining that other than to tell you that you're not connected to this planet. So there's some people like Chaz who know who they're connected to on the other side, whether this is a different dimension or a completely different, what would it be, system? I have no idea.
Maybe they're looking for a certain type of people, and that's why it's hereditary, or that they come back because maybe you're their type. I mean, we all have a type in one way or another, right?
True. Are you connected to them? Maybe you are a part of their, like Chaz is saying, your soul, your alien soul tribe. Maybe that is. I don't know.
Or part of, you might be the right age for their research project or whatever.
Well,
we have
old,
research.
My eggs are old. Everything's old.
We have research groups. We test medicines on teenagers. Okay, what's it do? It does this. Okay, so let's test it on old people. What's it do to the old people?
Well, we do a lot of that on this planet without consent. So it's not completely inconceivable that another species would come in and do things to us without consent. We do it, like you said, all the time. We get our
Yeah.
kids vaccinated without asking if they want to be vaccinated. We do things to older people without asking if they want those things done. It's the
Yeah.
way of, what is it, science?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know unless you go ahead and experiment. So I don't know. Eve is like, what are abductions? Abductions are when they come down and they take you wherever, back up to the ship or whatever. I don't know. But
So
those,
she
like,
said what? She said what the abductions?
oh, what
I
the
think she
abductions?
I think she was
Oh,
referring that to like a comment that you had made before. But I'm gonna be the one to ask the one weird question, and then I probably have to go because we're going on 2 hours. I'm gonna ask one weird question because my baby sister, now that I'm over here with her, she decided to
okay.
bombard me with every little witchy question and TikTok question there is out there. Because now I'm here on the same time zone. So here we go. The one weird question she asked me, and it's not weird, but it still kind of freaks me out. The black-eyed children.
Oh,
What are the black-eyed children?
you know what? I just recently came across the black-eyed children, and
And
somebody
they
told
freak me
me
out.
somebody said it was a genetic mutation. But I
But
haven't researched it. What exactly do you think it is?
so when I read about them, supposedly the harbingers of bad news, like whoever opens the door to them, like just negative things follow. Illness, death, all of it follow after opening the door to them or inviting them in.
I never heard of them.
I just recently I was doing a reading for a lady and she told me one of the black-eyed children came to her home. And so I didn't understand, are they in spirit form or is this actually a human that has black eyes?
I have no idea, but they say they're children and like it's just pitch black and they try to come into your house and yeah.
You mean like on the scary movies when their eyes are all blacked out?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? Thank God for the ring and security systems because if I see something outside with black eyes, your ass for sure ain't coming into the house. I mean, you might get some holy water poured out the window on you, but why would you open the door?
Well, they said
So
that they
evidently they're big in Europe.
oh shit.
Cryptid,
I don't need to live
cryptid?
here again.
Are they like alien? It sounds like an alien source. Or the
Some people say they're aliens. Some people say they're spirits that bring bad things to you.
okay, so do people send them to you or do they just come?
From what I see, what I've researched, they just come. They just show up.
Okay, so now you know I'm gonna be up till 3 o'clock in the morning researching black-eyed children now because now I'm not going to be able to get this out of my head.
Oh, it bothers me every time. I mean, it's the one thing that bothers the holy hell out of me, actually. And I have put it out my mind for so long, wasn't thinking about it, and then she calls me, Tina, what are the black-eyed kids? Do I look like I know what the black-eyed kids are? Do I want to know?
Huh,
Maybe I hid it from myself. Mm-mm.
that is
But they freak me
interesting.
out. That's the one. It freaks me out.
Okay, so I'm going to have to research and we're going to have to bring this back
All right.
because now I have a bunch of questions. You ended with a question that is giving me like 15 different other questions. So, okay, we need a whole
We'll set
segment.
it up. We'll set it up.
We'll set it up where we talk about the black-eyed children
I think
because
we got an opening in a couple of weeks. We'll set it up for the black eyed children topic. So we
perfect.
This
need
is
to do our
interesting.
research in
Who
between.
is who is John Benner? But anyway, so we have Lori Toro who said, I've also heard of them knocking on car windows at night. I've heard that too.
Thank you.
And what I've also heard is like sometimes people will be walking and come across them. They'll be standing under lights or something. I'm like, oh hell no.
Okay, so wait. Oh, okay, do they touch you or do they just look at you and that's what brings the bad luck, or do they have to physically touch you?
Are they a spirit or are they a
Look, we got
No.
to we got to do a whole segment. We got to do a whole segment because I'm like Lynna. I got a whole group of questions.
So this is what I
All
think
right.
we should do. Like the next free day, people who have questions, inbox us your questions. The next open forum, we're going to go and answer people's questions, and we'll make sure it's on the Black Eyed Children Day.
All right.
Sounds yeah. All right, you guys. Okay, she don't freaked all of us out now. Now I'm gonna have to
No, I'm like, I gotta go outside.
I'm gonna have to put my ring light in my security system up so in case some damn black-eyed child comes to the door, I'm prepared.
It just, I mean, well, you know what? Blame it on Mercedes. I forgot about it, and then she brought it
Well,
up.
tell Mercedes thank you that this gave us a whole lot to look into because I've heard of them and it was in a reading. It was my first time ever hearing about it and she brought it up. So I was like, I have no idea what they are. So I know it's getting late in Germany and I got a class that I got to take in a little bit, but thank you guys for participating and giving us a lot of great, I learned some stuff today from just even people in the comments. So thank you so much. And next week we'll have Anj, right? Is it Anj next week?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome.
All right, you guys,
All
I
right,
love
guys.
you.
Love you
Have a
guys.
great night.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.